I'm gonna like explain cards and their effects and all that.
No, not really. It's up to you. I mean, just do your thing. Hey, you royalty here. This your show. This your house. I'm just
royalty, my guy. Hold on. I'm not royalty.
Welcome back to Stillwater Phantom, also known as that channel that don't really exist at times.
We have lives. We are adults.
I'm still trying to catch up from it, but I'm here with Josh, who surprised everyone. Not really. What did you do this weekend, man?
Well, Atlanta BCS. We went in with a deck I built the day of the event, and we said, let's play the deck that just says screw the meta. And we're gonna go and get third place overall for Block B at BCS Atlanta. So.
Oh, so that's what that little medal is on the side.
Yeah, this little thing right here that just says third place right there, and this top 8 mat over here, which you will see in a moment. But you know, we gotta flex on them just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. But yeah, man, long weekend, great weekend. Lots of friends went. The cameraman himself went. You know, he didn't have a great time, but you know,
exposed.
We all had fun. It was great. It was long. I wasn't expecting it, and I'm here. And now I got my invite to Worlds to go to Japan. Hopefully, he can also help potentially make this happen.
I'll try. But what deck did you play during the weekend?
So this was for standard, and I was able to play the spicy standard Narukami. Screw you Excel decks and pretty much anything else ever.
Fair enough. What was your overall record?
My overall record in Swiss, I was technically undefeated. The last round, I just decided to scoop to my opponent so we could just go straight to top cut because there was really no point in playing it out. So it was 8 rounds. I was 7-0 until the last round where I scooped. And then top 8, we actually ended up playing against each other. Mm-hmm. He had some bad luck, and I ended up playing against him and beating him anyway, but I'll go over that a little bit after the deck. So.
All right, well, you want to go into the deck profile?
Oh, yeah, let's go right into it. I'll show you for a starter. Obviously, ride, draw, good stuff. We're going to go in with the trigger count. So this deck, you can play triggers any way you want. It really doesn't matter what you play, as long as you're playing some combination of die or die fast. So we got our 4 draw PGs, obviously. We need draw PGs because draws are good. We're playing 3 of this crit, 2 of this crit, so we're playing 5 crit. That means you could probably guess what the rest of the triggers are.
More draws?
These spicy front triggers. No draws, sir. These spicy fronts that did come in clutch. And I'm going to shout out to you, Cody, right now in the middle of this deck profile, because he helped me not only pretty much pick up this deck, because it was his deck at one point, but he kept these fronts in and didn't give me any crits, so I had no choice. I had no choice but to play these fronts, and these fronts came in super clutch. Super clutch. A lot of people, it just made my rows just be able to hit those numbers, even to hit a damage trigger. So, and one shiny one, definitely very nice. Very nice. And of course, you know, the card that actually made me salty, we'll go over that later, heal triggers. Heal triggers, because you need heals.
Alright.
You need heals. Alright, so on to our grade 1s. Obviously, 4 chicken, because we want cards to come back from the drop zone for free, and we want Gauntlet Buster's cost to essentially just be Superior Call card, Counterblast 1, Punch to the face. And backing that up, another 4 Demolition Dragons, because you go second on hit, draw a card, is beautiful. And just the fact that he's an 11k booster or an 11k attacker, or 16 on Excel 2, beautiful card. And you need 4. 4 mandatory. This matters. The next grade 1s you can play any variant of. But I chose to go with a more consistent route deck, 3 Gaibon and 3 Bolt Capture Dragon. A lot of people know this deck. This card right here is good. At the end of the turn, your Vanguard attacks, choose a unit, give it plus 3k, and then for that attack, your opponent cannot use Sentinels against that attack, so protect decks, anything that just has a PG in hand, no PGs. This actually won me a game in about round 6 or 7, and yeah, and then this card, which people say is bad, no, because this also won me a game. Because this
card
says,
is that?
this is Bolt Capture Dragon. The man just says, let me get that card in that back row, even if it's behind your Vanguard, and move it up to the front row. So now my Gauntlet Buster has more targets, my Cho'o's got targets, whatever. So that little thing you thought was safe behind your Vanguard, no, he's gone. So that's my grade 1 lineup.
Okay.
Now we're going on to the grade 2s. This dude MVP. Phoenix Sword Eradicator Cho'o, he is the man. I love this card. I loved it back in the day when I played Eradicators, and he just came back with a vengeance. He's your restander, he's your bind front row, and pull up at the same time. So he's just a man of, does all things. I mean, yes, Counterblast 1 for each can be a little bit heavy, but at times my opponent's usually dead before I'm really worrying about whether I need to counterblast more times rather than not. And that's why I don't play any countercharge grade 1s, because I don't care. I'm just going in ham, going in hard. So it's for that dude. 4 of the other MVP that just combos so well with Gauntlet Buster. My man Zuiton. He just makes like an already beefy card supreme beef. He is like burrito supreme. Like it is just so basically when he's on board, if I bind one of my opponent's units, he gives himself and he gives any Gauntlet Buster Dragon on my rearguard or Vanguard plus 5k. And it stacks, so you have multiple Zuitons on board. That's 5k to Vanguard, 5k to Vanguard, or another Gauntlet Buster in the rear guards, and then 5ks to themselves.
Oof.
So we make them thick and juicy, and also early game, it's actually good to help you draw into the pieces you need. Because if this attacks and your opponent on rear guard, if your opponent doesn't have a front row, you can shove it into Soul and draw a card.
Okay.
So it helps actually fill up your Soul a little bit also for Death Scythe, which we only play 3 of it right now.
Okay.
This card is good for power, because when you Soul Blast 2 and bind an opponent's front row unit, it gets 3k until the end of the turn.
Okay.
And then if your opponent has, is it less or is it no front row? Yeah, if it does not have any front row rear guard in the same column as this unit, it gains 5. So you put him on Excel 2, he's pretty much guaranteed to be 17. With his skill, he's plus 20 on Excel 2. You know, it hits numbers. The Soul Blast 2 is a little expensive. This helps mitigate the cost. But the grade 2s, pretty much this is what you're going to play. People play Recklessness, they play this, that, the other thing. This is just for consistency purposes. But it all came in super clutch for these next guys, the big boys. So we'll start off with this guy right here. The Tonic Strill Dragon. We're still playing this guy. He's going to be your best, depending on how you look at it, your best backup or your best main unit, depending on the matchup.
Okay.
So this is your main restander. It also binds. So as long as your opponent has no board, he's essentially Counterblast 1 restand for free and plus power, which honestly, most of the time you're going to activate this is because your opponent maybe has 1 or 2 units on board. You bind one with one of your other cards, and then you just bind with this on attack, and then he's free. And then with Gaibon, you can activate Gaibon twice because he restands.
Okay.
But, you know, that's great and all, but this man right here deserves the most respect. This card makes this deck busted. And I mean, Gauntlet Buster is definitely busted. This card is actually what says to the meta decks right now, like Pale Moon, Murakumo, Shadow Paladin, any kind of thing that just says, I really, really, really want rear guards right now, or
I do like rear guards.
yeah, I rear guard. This card says, no, I'm going to Counterblast 1, discard a card from my hand, and now I'm just going to bind that front row, and I'm going to get 5k and a crit for each open rear guard circle in your front row. Cool. Protect decks and Force decks, it gets plus 10k plus 2 crit, so it's triple crit base. Against the Cell decks,
Oof.
well, like this weekend, what happened, I got him up to 55k 5 crit. Enough said there, but, you know, things happen, and we can't get there. But when your opponent heals on 6, it makes you a little salty, but it's all good.
Oh, so what happened? Tell me.
All right, so
you gotta tell me this.
All right, so this is pretty much the whole deck profile. I mean, it's self-explanatory. It's crits, it's restands. So we'll talk a little. Oh yeah, and then of course we're gonna play these juicy Excel 2s. Thanks, Cody, for letting me again borrow your Excel 2 markers. I actually have to buy my own now. So a little bit about the weekend. So the decks I played against, round 1, Royal Paladin, he overextended early at grade 2. Enough said. He called his Blaster Blades, I called Gauntlet Buster, and he was sad. Round 2 and 3 were actually mirror matches against Narukami, which surprisingly enough, this is the card you want for the mirror match. Because your opponent's not going to overextend because he understands how the deck works, and he thinks he's going to be saving his resource until I'm smacking him with multiple Vanguard attacks, and he's like, why am I dropping all my resource now? Now I can't pay for my Gauntlet Buster skill, and he thinks just staying on Gauntlet Buster is going to be scary, when this card is actually scarier in the mirror match. Play this card. Let's see. I played against D-Police, which actually was a battle of the Titans at that point. Because big boy over here with a lot of crit, me with a lot of crit. Let's punch each other in the face all day long. Then we played against the Blade Master Waterfall decks, which hear me out. In the later rounds, they were also undefeated as I was. And they both ended up making it to top 8. And I was their only losses of the day was when they played me. But the deck's good, it's just, I can bind all their cards that needs to make Blade Master work. Their Garens, their Dohas, and then they're just sad.
And the Blade Master player, I understand.
yes, they're highly sad.
We get sad.
I did play against a Murakumo player in Swiss. Unfortunately, he was grade locked at grade 0 and grade 1, and he was playing.
What did he
his
roll?
reaction? You had to see his reaction. His hand was two triggers and 4 grade 3s. And he was playing.
My old friend.
He was also playing Zambaku Shirayuki. Only reason I know that was because I got to see his hand. Because that's all he had in hand. And I won the dice roll, so I was already way ahead of advantage. And then my last round, like I said, I scooped the guy. So come top 8, I play against the guy I scooped against. He's also playing Murakumo. He also was grade suck at grade 0 for 2 turns.
It's not normal.
Yeah, I mean, it's Vanguard, it happens. He was able to stall with Shirayuki, so he was able to get to his grade 3. He just wasn't able to get to the right one in enough time. He kind of bricked. I mean, it is what it is. And then comes my salt of the day. Top 4. Play against another Murakumo player who me and him were next to each other, and then we finally had to play each other. And he won dice roll, I believe, or I'm not really too sure. But the only thing that matters is it got to the point where I kept him at 1 damage pretty much the entire game. Hyuga needs counterblast. This deck is good to just say, I'm not going to give you damage. I'm going to swing with all these crits, either eat it or don't. Well, it got to the point of the game where I swung with a 55,000, 5 crit Gauntlet Buster. He's at 1 damage. He decides to say, no guard. Eats 5 damage, heals on 6. I gave Hyuga counterblast, and Hyuga decides he's going to go off.
Pack it up.
Well, Hyuga went off. I survived that turn. Now, mind you, the one thing I had to hope was that he didn't drive check a perfect guard, so I could Gauntlet Buster him again. Well, the Mythman Legend drive checks a perfect guard. So I knew I was going to lose next turn after I Gauntlet Bustered him already. So I survived a turn, did my Gauntlet Buster, he PGs, he gets to go again, I die. And that was,
Hyuga, again.
and that was my top 4. And then when we played for 3rd, I played against a Waterfall Blade Master guy from Swiss, playing for 3rd. We just talked it out. He said he wanted to play it out. And then I obviously won that. So I got 3rd place.
The mother around.
We actually had a really good game that time. We had a better game.
He
put a little bit of.
Said no.
He did put pressure on with Waterfall for like a minute, but once you survive that, you're pretty good. And then that was it. And then so the top 4 for that tournament was first place was Overlord.
Surprise.
In Block B. Overlord. Second place was Murakumo. Me in 3rd, and 4th place was Kagero. So that was the deck I play. I suggest anyone who wants to play in this meta as it is right now, if you're good at this deck, or if you just want to play Vanguard and just lulls, you play this deck. I built it the day of. You see what it can do. I was happy with it. I'm going to play this for a long time. And, or at least until it becomes irrelevant, which I don't think is going to happen for a while.
They're getting new support around the corner, so they just revealed.
Yeah, I mean, Gauntlet Buster's just silly.
Was it Eradicator?
Draconic Vanquisher.
Yeah, Vanquisher.
But
Yeah.
anyway, well, that's my deck profile. That's all my stuff. Hopefully, I can get to Japan. Hopefully, I'll get to play this deck in Japan because I will play this deck in Japan. And maybe we'll go for the big win.
Maybe. Nah, it's gonna happen.
We'll see.
Well, once again, thank you for the profile. Congratulations on your amazing top 8 run, 3rd place overall.
Hashtag
Stack
heels
heel.
make me salty.
Hashtag heels make me salty.
Make me salty.
Everyone in the comment section, hashtag heels make me salty. With that being said, thank you for watching. There'll be more content coming out very soon. If you could, just like, comment, and subscribe.
And hit that bell button. You need that bell button. You gotta get those notifications. Ding! There's a crit. Hit the bell crit. Ding, ding, ding.
Alright, and with that being said, thank you for watching. So Water signing out. Peace.